a montage of Hollywood's most eccentric faces, a slow zoom on Benicio del Toro, then Tilda Swinton, finally landing on a close-up of James Spader's intense, unblinking gaze. Friends are always a strange group of characters, and truthfully, I've always been attracted to the stranger, the better. In my personal cinematic dictionary, there is a specific tribe of actors who exist entirely outside the normal Hollywood machinery. We have Benicio del Toro, with his elliptical presence seemingly operating on a different brain frequency than everyone else. We have Tilda Swinton, with an otherworldly intensity that suggests she stepped out of a different dimension entirely. And then we have James Spader, a man who has built an entire career out of embodying every personality type your therapist explicitly warned you to avoid. While his contemporaries played heroes and heartthrobs, Spader gravitated toward the morally flexible, the psychologically complex, and the deeply uncomfortable. Today, we are dissecting the career of James Spader, how he built a reputation by defying every archetype, why he is drawn to the grey zones of morality, and where this enigmatic actor is now. Let's fade to black. Black and white photos of a young Spader, images of Phillips Academy Andover, stock footage of 1,970 seconds, New York City, yoga classes, and stables. James Todd Spader was born in Boston in 1960. There is a crucial detail here that you must remember. Both of his parents were teachers. This suggests a foundation built on intellect, a home where ideas were currency and conversation was cherished. He attended Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts, one of America's most prestigious prep schools. This is the kind of institution that traditionally funnels students directly into the Ivy League, and from there, into positions of supreme power. But at 17, Spader dropped out to move to New York and pursue acting. This was the first major choice that defined his trajectory, a deliberate turn away from the establishment path paved in gold before him. Instead of a university lecture hall, he took odd jobs. He taught yoga, he drove meat trucks, and he even worked as a stable boy shoveling manure. These weren't glamorous experiences for a resume. They were physical, survivalist labor jobs that would have been unthinkable to his prep school peers. This friction between high-class breeding and gritty reality gave him an edge that no diploma could. Clips from Mannequin, Tough Turf, and Pretty in Pink focus on Spader's sneer, his linen suits, and his lit cigarettes. By the early 1980 seconds, Spader was landing film roles. He possessed the perfect look for leading man status, an intense gaze and that natural upper-class bearing that cameras adore. The Brat Pack was forming at the time, and while Spader was the right age and moved in adjacent circles, he never truly became a member. In Mannequin, 1987, he played the smarmy Vice President Richards, a caricature of the entitled corporate villain. In Tough Turf, he was the wealthy antagonist. But the peak of this era was his role as Steph in Pretty in Pink, the rich kid who destroys people's self-esteem for sport. These were types, yes, but they established a rule. Spader was the guy you loved to hate. Even in Oliver Stone's Wall Street, he brought a distinct quality. You could never quite figure out what his character was thinking, but the real turning point, where the preppy smile began to rot, came with Less Than Zero, 1987. Here, Spader played a drug dealer with a chilling casualness that was far more terrifying than any shouting match. The iconic poster of Sex, Lies, and Videotape, clips of Spader interviewing women with a camcorder. In 1989, Steven Soderbergh's debut feature, Sex, Lies, and Videotape, premiered at Sundance and won the Palme d'Or, effectively launching the American independent film movement. Spader played Graham Dalton, an impotent drifter who can only achieve intimacy by filming women discussing their sexual histories. The character is deeply uncomfortable, voyeuristic, and emotionally manipulative in the most subtle ways. Graham represents a specific pathology, the man who has intellectualized himself out of genuine connection. He creates a complex system, the camera, to allow him the illusion of intimacy while remaining protected from vulnerability. Spader's performance is a masterclass in conveying interior fracture through minimal expression. The role earned him the Best Actor award at Cannes. At 29, he had serious artistic credibility. But here is the most important part. This success didn't lead him toward conventional stardom. The industry now understood what Spader was selling: intensity, intelligence, and a willingness to inhabit moral grey zones. After Sex, Lies, and Videotape, instead of choosing romantic comedies or studio blockbusters, he doubled down on complexity. He had found his territory, and he was going to mine it as deep as it would go. A rapid montage of White Palace, Bad Influence, and Dream Lover. Throughout the 90 seconds, Spader consistently chose the psychologically complex over the commercially safe. In White Palace, 1990, he was Max, a repressed widower falling for an older, working-class waitress. Max was damaged, but recognizably human. In Bad Influence, 1990, Spader played Michael, a mild-mannered analyst whose life comes unglued after crossing paths with Rob Lowe. Spader perfectly captures the quiet unraveling of a man drawn to the dark side. In Dream Lover, 1993, the dynamic flipped. Spader played a man obsessed with his new wife, exploring paranoia and the way attraction curdles into possession. His characters were often both manipulator and manipulated, predator and prey. What distinguished his work from standard erotic thriller fare was the intelligence beneath the mechanism. And then, Stargate 1994 happened. This was easily his biggest box office success, and the closest he ever came to Hollywood hero territory. As Dr. Daniel Jackson, Spader played the smartest guy in the room without making him a cliché, bringing a curiosity and warmth we rarely saw again. But instead of riding that wave into a franchise career, Spader treated Stargate like a one-off detour, nodding politely at blockbuster fame before turning right back to the stranger, thornier material. The cold, metallic aesthetic of Crash, the corporate betrayal in Wolf. Spader became the most interesting practitioner of the 90 seconds thriller. In Wolf, 1994, he played Richard, the backstabbing protege to Jack Nicholson, a corporate villain who sparks a wolfish revenge. But the peak of strange came with David Cronenberg's Crash. The film took Spader's exploration of psychosexual terrain to the extreme, a group of people sexually aroused by car accidents. It was transgressive material, and Spader approached it with a terrifying clinical detachment. Toward the end of the 90 seconds, he rounded out his resume with roles in Keys to Tulsa, Driftwood, Critical Care, and Curtain Call. In 2002, Secretary arrived, representing the culmination of this era. As E. Edward Gray, a lawyer entering a BDSM relationship with his secretary, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Spader could have been a simple abuser. Instead, he turned it into a genuinely subversive love story, where control is a form of care. These films established Spader as cinema's premier explorer of erotic power dynamics. James Spader in Boston, Legal Smoking on the Balcony, and as Red in The Blacklist. In 2003, Spader joined the legal drama The Practice for its 8th season as Alan Shaw, a lawyer who viewed the law as an intellectual game. The character was so compelling that David E. Kelley created a spin-off, Boston Legal. Alan Shaw was ethically flexible, weaponizing language to talk his way out of anything. But beneath the performance was a genuine loneliness. His relationship with Denny Crane, William Shatner, became the heart of Boston Legal, two damaged men finding honesty in each other. Then, in 2013, Spader took on Raymond Reddington in NBC's The Blacklist, a role that defined his next decade. Red is a former agent turned criminal who surrenders to the FBI. It is Spader's most accessible character, yet still quintessentially him. He makes exposition entertaining. The way he savors words like fine wine, his rhythm, his emphasis, he makes the audience hang on every syllable. The Blacklist ran for 10 seasons and over 200 episodes, becoming his most famous role. Behind the scenes of Avengers: Age of Ultron, a clip from Lincoln. If Spader is enigmatic on screen, he is even more so off it. He rarely gives interviews, and when he does, he speaks in abstractions, classic Spader. He views acting like an engineer solving a problem. He lives in New York, not Los Angeles, a statement in itself. He needs solitude to maintain a protective distance from the world. In 2015, he voiced Ultron in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Even in a blockbuster, he wore a motion capture suit to bring physicality to the role, making the robot villain darkly witty and genuinely threatening rather than just a CGI creation. Even in a small role like the politician W.N. Bilbo in Spielberg's Lincoln, He brought that unmistakable Spader slipperiness. A montage of Spader's roles from youth to age. At 64, James Spader has achieved something rare, a career defined entirely on his own terms. He never sought conventional stardom, he created a singular body of work. Spader spent 4 decades exploring power, manipulation, and the construction of identity. He never judges his characters. He finds the human beneath the wound. His influence is visible in the rise of the modern anti-hero, the charming predators, and articulate monsters like Walter White or Don Draper all owe a debt to the territory Spader mapped out. He taught us to recognize the humanity in those we would rather dismiss as evil. As for the future, Spader remains characteristically tight-lipped. That consistency, that refusal to compromise, is his own form of integrity, and that is exactly what makes him endlessly fascinating. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. I'll see you in the next one.